Hello everyone, and welcome to Secrets Behind the Stars. Settle in, because what I'm about to share will make your heart race. If you enjoy these deep dives into the lives behind the spotlight, remember to support Secrets Behind the Stars by subscribing, dropping a like, and, if you'd like to be part of our inner circle, tapping that join button below. Now, let's get into it, because today Turkish showbiz is buzzing with a revelation that nobody saw coming. In an industry where looks linger longer than words and every caption can spark a frenzy, a new wave of emotion has risen from a single, deliberate move. The center of the storm is Cenk. Not for an upcoming series, not for a brand deal or a gala appearance, but for something infinitely more personal. He posted a message, short, stark, impossible to ignore, and the echo was immediate. "We started together." 2 words, carefully placed beneath a photograph that didn't scream or insist, but whispered with the kind of conviction that sets the entire media machine into motion. Why now? Why this? Those questions rippled across timelines the moment the post went live. For months, whispers circled around Cenk and Mahassine. You saw them side by side, laughed over interviews where they danced around labels, watched them slip from red carpets into night air with glances that said more than any press statement. It began as camaraderie, a rhythm that seemed professional and comfortable, then it shifted. Slowly, undeniably, it took on a warmth that fans could feel even from behind screens. And when the rumors hardened into something less deniable, it felt like a scene from a love story people didn't realize they were waiting for. But here is the twist: at a time when both calendars are crowded with rehearsals, voiceovers, shoots, and negotiations that cross borders, Cenk chose this exact moment to light the fuse. Not a fanfare. Not 100 lines of explanation. Just a clear gesture and a line that could only be read one way by those who've been paying attention. For many, it signaled a beginning, not merely of a project or a phase, but of a shared path with Mahassine that extends beyond premieres and photo calls. What's happening behind that calm exterior? People close to the two, people who prefer to remain unnamed but who have watched their rhythm up close, say something has changed in the last few months. Not in a dramatic way, but in that subtle, steady manner that often proves the most enduring. The confidentiality hasn't vanished. Rather, the comfort has deepened. The support is quiet but constant. The kind of closeness that shows itself in the way they coordinate schedules, make room for each other's ambitions, and acknowledge the other's dreams out loud. And then came the debate, the forensic dissection of a caption. We started together. What does it mean in the language of celebrities, contracts, and careful timing? Is it a new series with both in the cast? A film where their chemistry finally meets the camera? A decision to share a home? A private commitment, softly stepped into? Each possibility has found champions online. Every interpretation spins a new thread of speculation. The absence of a follow-up statement doesn't silence the crowd, it quickens the pulse of the story. Fans, especially the younger ones who have championed their bond since the earliest candid photos, filled timelines with celebratory notes. Screens lit up with messages of excitement, loyalty, and hope. But in the industry's undercurrent, a different picture emerged. This wasn't impulsive. Sources insist the timing, the image, the caption, everything, was carefully thought through by Cenk. He mapped out the route to this reveal like a director who values subtlety over spectacle, making sure it still felt private and real despite the spotlight. Where does Mahassine stand in all this? Those who know her voice say she was not only informed, but entirely aligned. She has long protected the delicate space where her personal world and public image meet. And yet, those same observers say her calm acceptance of this step speaks volumes about the trust between them. It wasn't a fireworks display, it was a candle lit together and left to glow. Since the post, expectant eyes have poured over every photo, every exchange at recent events. That hand brushed along an elbow, that smile shared before the cameras snapped, that mirrored body language on stage. Details suddenly appear as breadcrumbs leading to a grand reveal. Even skeptics, the ones habitually immune to romantic narratives, are starting to concede. They haven't seen Cenk and Mahassine so attuned before. There's a gravity to it, a sense of adult choices and careful promises. In the weeks leading up to the post, there were sightings that now play like fragments of a trailer. Work commitments, yes. But also quiet escapes from the city, evenings where they were seen slipping into small places where the music was low and the talk was easy. And the professional rumors didn't lag behind. A TV drama pairing was murmured about, a romantic film was floated in producer circles, something international, perhaps, with a script that travels like their passports do. That simple line, "We started together," fits every theory like a perfect key. And that's exactly what sends the speculation engine into overdrive. Friends, the kind who put their friendship above headlines, have stayed coy but not silent. They hint at a Cenk more anchored than he's been in years, a man whose priorities line up without wobbling. They speak of a Mahassine who looks luminous not because of makeup or wardrobe, but because serenity shows on a face like morning light on water. These are the kinds of notes that add texture to the tale, even when the sources won't step into the frame. And of course, the commentariat woke up. Influencers trawled through old posts, searching captions for foreshadowing. Columnists drew timelines on their screens, connected dots, compared outfits and expressions. Social media sleuths posted side-by-side photos that, when viewed with hindsight, seemed to point in one direction. What looked trivial yesterday grows meaningful today when placed beneath this new headline. But the true crash of a moment like this happens in the private feelings of those watching from afar. Fans who've grown up with Cenk on their screens and who have discovered Mahassine's elegance and confidence in real time turned the announcement into something larger than gossip. They see in it a promise that romance can still be composed in a low voice and heard across a noisy room. Some are already sketching out futures on their feeds, a ring, a home, a project that puts them side by side where everyone can see it. Meanwhile, the present keeps unfolding. She's been by his side during key creative moments, visits to sets, late-night brainstorming sessions, readings where she chimed in with a note that sharpened a scene. He, in turn, has spoken gently but unmistakably about the creative spark and calm support she brings to his life. It's not just affection. It's collaboration. A bond that leaks into the work and makes both better. Now it's your turn, Secrets Behind the Stars family. What do you hear behind those two words? Do you think this is the beginning of an engagement? A move that ties their daily routines together? Or is it a strategic wink toward a project that will place them opposite one another, letting the camera capture what people already feel? Could this become the defining love story of Turkish entertainment in this era? Share what you think. Leave your theories, your hopes, your predictions. You always bring context that others miss, and your perspectives shape how these stories evolve. And remember, here at Secrets Behind the Stars, we don't just repeat headlines, we trace the threads, the gestures, the pauses, the looks that say more than statements do. Subscribe, tap like, ring that notification bell, and if you want to help us keep these deep dives coming, consider joining the membership and becoming part of the Secrets Behind the Stars community. With this single, carefully measured reveal, Cenk Toran and Mahassine Merabet haven't only captured attention, they've opened a door. What waits beyond might be a surprise, or a certainty they've both been quietly walking toward for longer than we knew. Either way, a new chapter is turning in front of us, slow and thrilling, like a scene held an extra beat so we don't miss the meaning. We'll be here to document each step, every shared glance during a premiere, every collaborative rumor that firms into a real project, every hint of a move that binds their lives more closely. Stories like this don't need spectacle, they thrive on sincerity, and that is what makes this moment feel special. Thank you for watching and for trusting Secrets Behind the Stars with your curiosity. We'll see you in the next video, where we'll follow the trail of this unfolding romance and bring you what's true, what's thoughtful, and what matters most. Until then, take care, stay tuned, and keep your eyes on the signs that quietly change everything.